Alright, so I got sent this replay by Anna in seat 7. She was asking me how to. She was basically asking for advice on how to identify your fascist as Hitler when you have been given guns. So, spoiler alert, she's going to have a gun in this game. And I think it's going to come down to reading through the chats. So, we'll first I'll go through the game itself and see if there's any card reads you can make. And see, what kind of recommendations I can give. And then after that, we'll go through the chats to see if we can identify 1 and 6 as being her fascist through chatting. And also, if she misidentifies, why. We'll look at chats from liberals as well to see if there's any reason she misidentified a liberal as fascist. So, 1-5, 9-by-4 is fine. Draws red. Claims nothing. So they never made a claim on that. That's kind of interesting. 2-4 goes in. 3, 6, 7, 9. I think 6-9ing is fine. 3-9ing is fine. 4 yawing is okay as well. Those are the votes. Like 7's 9 is kind of neither here nor there. 7 shouldn't have really any opinions one way or another. So anyway, it's interesting votes. Not a terrible decision to pick 4 there. RBB. 3 picks 7 and gets Yod, which is totally fine as well. Now the question I have for the table is 4-2 going to be Yod? Now, I don't think he would. So 3 doesn't take him. So currently it's a 3 blue deck. Assuming 1 claimed red, red, red in chat, which I assume they did. 4-2 nearly gets Yod. 6-9s, of course. No one wants to Yod 5, except for 2. I guess 2 just Yod anybody who picks him. Kind of interesting. Okay, 6 drops blue and doesn't claim it. So, still a 3 blue deck. Investigation is fascist. So, 2-6 is a conflict, right? So already as Hitler, you know that there's at least 1 fascist here in 6-2, and that 1, 3, 4, 5 have only 1 fascist in them. So that's a pretty good idea. See if you can get. One thing I would try to do, I wouldn't pay as much attention to 2-6 as Hitler as soon as it conflicts. Instead, I would look into 1, 3, 4, 5 and see what kind of information I can get from them, to try and make a read so that I can make a shot. And if you're not going to play I'm going to shoot somebody out and then take my TD odds, you're trying to play for another gun. What you need to do is identify a liberal outside of 2-6 that you can shoot that allows you to still look liberal after the shot is made. So yeah, that's the first thing. And 1-5 is red, red, red. Or at the very least, 1 hasn't claimed anything, and I don't know if they late comp or not yet, because I haven't looked at chat. But 1-5 is red. So it's not guaranteed, but because it's a low blue deck, you can be relatively sure. At least one of 1-6 probably has one of your fascists in this game, because there's a lack of blues, especially when you as Hitler get in Gov, and yes, she gets 1 blue. So that makes it a 4 blue deck. So 3 looks good. 3 picks 2. I think that's a bit weird, but why do I think about this? Why does 3 pick 2? I'm gonna have to look into that. Like, it's weird that 3 picks 2. Of course, 6-9s, even though their conflict is being term locked, which is really good for them. Gets red, red, red. So really good situation for fascist here. Yeah, Anna gets SC'd. And she shoots 6. So this is exactly why she sent me this. I'd imagine she got some flack from her fascist after the game for shooting 6 here, when you have perfectly good shots in 1, 3, 4, 5. as Hitler to try and, again, it's you're taking a 50-50 shooting into 2-6. And that's if only one of them is fascist. They can both be fascist. Maybe they both conflicted, and then 3-2 happens, which is kind of weird that 3-2 happens. But in that situation, even if 3 gets a blue, 2 can conflict. 7 can then take a gun and shoot a liberal, and it'll be an easy top deck game from there. But in most games, 2-6 will have one liberal, one fascist. So it's a 50-50 shot. She must have read 2 as fascist. She must have been very confident that 2 was fascist as well. It's kind of weird for 2 to get picked. Maybe she thought 2-3 were her fascist. But it's not. It's 1-6. So, obviously she made the wrong shot. We'll see what happens from there. So she gets yacht again, which is great. She gets only 1 blue. So there's 2 blue left and 3 now. So the unfortunate thing about this is her hand being red, red, blue. It confirms that fascist would have won if she took top deck odds. If she just shot a liberal, outed, and then took top deck odds, they would have won. And top deck odds are usually pretty good, I think, in those situations. Let's see. What were top deck odds? 3-2 had been red. 7-5 was 7-5 was red, red, red. So there's 3 blue and 6. And it would be, it's about 50-50. She would have won if she'd done it. That's retrospective. Obviously, I'm not trying to say that you should take TD odds, but it's a thing to consider. So I don't know if she late comps or whatever, but she shoots 3 here. And then the game goes into veto zone mode. Liberals need 2 blues to win. They get RBB, of course. So now they know Anna's fascist. If she didn't conflict. She should have conflicted. And then 5-2. But see, 2 picks 5. So the problem is that 2 picks 5 and then 5 picks 2. Alright, 2 has to be liberal for them to win. So they play 2 and 2 turns out to be liberal. Luckily for fascist here, the top deck is red. So, yeah. I think Anna could pick 5 here. Or 2. So there must have been some discussion about not letting Anna get in veto zone, even though that was Liberal's last gov. So there must have been an out or something. Maybe somebody thought that Anna was Hitler shooting their own fascist. But anyway, we'll go over chat and see if... Let's see if there's anything there. Alright, so first thing I'm going to look at is Crawlo's chat. You can tell I was already sort of looking through it, but I didn't really read too much into it. Text 7, we're talking about last. Okay, so... Oh, man. So... 1-5 is RR. Krallov's not really talking to 7. Hmm. 5-1 Cuckoo. Yeah, nothing. Stop talking about last game. See, I'm looking at Anna's chat as well here. Okay, hold up. I gotta make sure I'm keeping track of the game itself as well. 6 Imps to Fascist. Okay, blue, this is only one con. Scorcha. Amazing. Okay, so here you can kind of get a little bit of a read on Crollo. Here in at the like special election is the game essentially. Like all of the game builds up to the special election. That's where the most important chat is going to be. I like 5 more than anyone else, I think. And I want to speak sure. I like 7 no. I think Alexa's. I'm gonna close Alexa. Not insane reads here. I don't think 4 is lip. So 1 is like chat confing 4. That's another thing you can think about. Like if you're Hitler in suit 7, you see 1 saying the shading 4 here. And be like, okay, well, if I think 1-4 has a fascist, then I think 3-5 are 2 liberals. That makes it pretty simple for me. I think Crollo's probably saying they like 5 because they think 5 will pick 7 over 3. And especially, well, okay, 3 actually has SE, so 3 is going to be term locked anyway. So that's probably the entire like reason. Like we don't want 4 SE'd. We want 5 SE'd over 4. The reason is because 5 will pick 7, and that will just end the game right there for a fascist. That's always the number 1 win rate. So it's fairly easy to read Crollo's intentions there. With the benefit of hindsight. Wait, did I? Oh, I must have gone back. Whoops. Let's keep reading. Ah, 2 is talking about 4-2. 4-2 was hard 9'd. I think it was 9'd by 1-3-5-6. 9-4-2. Okay, all these chats here don't really make so much difference to me. After this point, I'm assuming that Anna had already been elected and that she was just debating, quote unquote, on her pick, when 5 is a fairly obvious pick. Oh no, this is some pain. Both 1 and 6 are like kill 3. Oh no. We'll go through some more chats. And it was sheeped, quote unquote, by 3. 3 did a good job this game of keeping the game alive for liberals. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I can see how this game went down now. Yeah, 3 sheeped 7 into shooting 6. Wow. Yeah, and liberals were dead set on 6 being fascist. Man. Man. Okay, let me check 6's chat. I'm not really reading too much from 6. But to be honest with you, it's kind of like what I said earlier. Like, when you're Hitler in seat 7 and you have a conflict, an actual conflict in 2-6, you don't really need to read into it that much. In fact, I would just, in my head, I would mute 2-6. And I would just be looking at 1, 3, 4, 5, the people in power anyway, and trying to figure out which ones are libs and which ones are fascists. But there's a fairly easy way to solve this. So 3-2 was the weirdest pick of this game, and that can be a signal if you are Hitler there, especially when 3 SEs you. Anna could have been scared that 1-6 were both liberals, and 3 was fascist SEing her over 5, when 5 should be picking 7, in my opinion. I don't. Anyway, she could be scared that maybe there's some reason that 3 doesn't SE 5. She knows that 3-5 isn't too fascist, or well, it can't be too fascist anyway because 2-6 is a conflict. But if she thinks 3 is her fascist, 3 could have picked 2 to signal, hey, this is another fascist, and we're in good shape this game because you played a blue with me. Especially when she gets red in 7-5. That makes 3 look a lot more fascist from her position. So I can see where she's scared to shoot 3. But here's the thing. If she thinks 3 is fascist, but she sees 1 and 4 kind of don't like each other, well then there's one person that's confirmed liberal, and that's 5. 5 is always liberal. So if you want to take top deck odds, that's your shot. Now, obviously, 5 is a horrible shot if you want to try and go for a second government, because people were considering SEing 5. So the only thing else I really have to say is, like, you see 1-4 kind of conflicting a little bit on chat. I don't know if John Scoutman was really conflicting 1 back, but 1 was definitely conflicting 4 on chat, saying, no, you can't SE 4, you have to SE in 5-7. 3 is a perfectly valid shot after if you're willing to read into that, like that you don't think 1-4 is ever 2 liberals. That's the other thing. That's not an easy read. I'm not going to call that an easy read to make, but that's a read you can make. But I guess the biggest takeaway I have from this is just, and I've said this multiple times already, don't shoot into conflicts as Hitler, because you're like just on like blind odds, on coin flip odds, you're making it much worse for yourself. Then you try to look for a better shot. And for here, the better shot is to shoot into 1, 3, 4, 5 because you only have a 25% chance of shooting a fascist. And let's think about this. So after 7-5, let's hide chats. I'm not going to read chats anymore. So after 7-5, let's go into 7-5. So 3 SE'd 7, right? After you shoot 3, let's say you shoot 3, and let's say 3, worst case scenario, 3 is also fascist. Let's say it's like 2, 3, 7, or 3, 4, 6, 7. So you shoot 3, 3 is fascist, and then what? The tracker's on 4, 5, 6. Well, 6 is not getting in Gov. You could top deck. Did they top deck? No, they didn't top deck. It's not a top deck now. So that's another thing. It's a top deck to get back to you because they'd have to 9, 4, 5, and 6 and then top deck to get to you. So if you shoot 3, there's a good chance, if as long as the table likes it, that you're going to get into a veto zone Gov. You know, there's 50-50 odds that you draw a red out of that draw pile. And even if you top deck a blue, you still are getting another gun in that situation. And let me think about this a bit. So if the top deck is red after 4, 5, 6, well then you've got 3 blues and you've got 2 reds. If you play a blue, the worst case scenario for you is to get RRB, actually, because you can't overclaim that. But you can overclaim RBB to BBB to cover for yourself. Or, no, you don't even have to. You can shoot 3 and then conflict 3 on cards and be like, oh, yeah, 3 was fascist. There's a blue missing. They dropped it and didn't want to conflict 2 or whatever. So, you know, even in a situation where you get RRB, it's not that bad for you. That's if top deck is blue. No, that's if top deck is red. If top deck is red, you're playing the 4th blue, or you're getting RRB and you're winning the game in veto zone, if they're willing to top deck to you. If they're not willing to top deck to you, that's actually better, because... Oh, no, because you'll be term locked. Shit. Let's see. You play red, it's 3, 4... Are they going to play 4, 5? 4 or 5 as president, I mean? Good question. 5 is confirmed not Hitler. People were willing to SC 5. That's the thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to let in a 3v3 test if you shoot 3. Which you can do. It's not the end of the world. They might even get rid of a blue for you. But then it'll be in the next deck. 4 blues, 4 reds. If you get in Gov again, you have to pick a new CNH because 3 is going to be dead. 5 will have picked somebody and term locked them. It's not... Nothing is confirmed, right? Because you're not getting, you're not going to shoot 3 and then have 4-7 or 5-7 play next. So, if top deck is blue, that's actually really bad for fascists if top deck is blue. If 4, 5, 6 are 9, and then they top deck and let Anna have another gun. Because, again, we're assuming 3 is fascist in this situation. The best you can do is shoot a liberal and then hope that you're in veto zone. Now, that's a lot better, actually, for fascists, is if you get into veto zone as the chancellor, which would happen in that situation. I don't know. Obviously, the way this game went out, if she just shoots 3 is liberal, and then they just need 1 liberal to yaw Anna again, and they win. It's very simple. But in the situation where 3 is fascist, it's a little bit more complicated. So I kind of get Anna's perspective on this game a lot. I can see why she didn't want to shoot 3. 3 picked 2, 3 SC'd her over 5. But you have to realize, SEing Hitler there is not outing fascist by any measure, especially when it's what the table wants. And the thing about it is a fascist with SE there is going to want to SE 5, because 5 is more likely to pick 7. Now that 3-2 are both term locked, there's a lot of fascists to pick. There's only one liberal in seat 4, and one is kind of conflicting 4. Seven's in a great position to be hailed. I really think that 3 as a fascist would be pushing for 5 to get SE over 7, which is exactly what Krollo did, by the way. So, Krollo's just not giving SE, so it's a little harder to get what he wants. I think I've discussed this video enough. You can let me know in the comments if you have any questions, but, yeah. Right. Alright, I'll just end it there. Kind of a bit sudden, I apologize, but it wound up being a fascist win anyway, so I don't know why anybody on the fascist team is annoyed. So they got, I know they got lucky, but, this happens. So, you live, you learn, you go next. I wouldn't be too mad about it. It's just a game. Alright, see y'all later.